Welcome to the FCS Championship Semifinal from Big Sky Country in Montana. How could you even dream up a more beautiful scene for college football than this? The snow covering the mountains, the sun shining in late December, and what a matchup we have. One of the most anticipated FCS playoff games in history. The 3-seed Grizzlies from Montana have come down the road to take on the 2-seed, the Bobcats of Montana State. A brawl of the wild matchup. One of the great rivalries in college football with a spot in the national championship game on the line. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Villanova and Illinois State January 5 from Nashville. And hi, everybody. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Dawn Davenport is with us as well. We are so excited to be here. And look, I know it's FCS level, maybe the scene at Bobcat Stadium on a slightly different scale than what we just saw at Kyle Field in College Station. But you grew up here. You came to these games as a kid. There isn't a place in America that cares more about football than Montana. This rivalry goes back to the 1800s. They're about to play for the 125th time all time. They have never until today met in the playoffs, and there's a spot in the national championship game on the line.
Well, Dave, this one hits different. Without a doubt, this is the biggest sporting event in the history of the great state of Montana. I can attest, I grew up here. It wasn't about the Iron Bowl. It wasn't about the game. It wasn't about the Red River rivalry. It was about the Cats, the Grizz, the Brawl of the Wild. These two programs mean everything to the people of Montana. Programs built on different values than the rest of college football that we see in today's landscape. Loyalty, toughness, discipline, but most of all, it's about the name on the front of the jersey, not on the back. Listen, this is going to be an all-time great game. This is the Brawl of the Wild playoff edition. Buckle up your chin strap. You're in for an all-time classic.
Makes me want to go out there and play. I mean, there is just so much history involved with this rivalry game. It's one of the storied rivalries in the history of the game. And it goes back to 1897. What a great photo with the mountains in the backdrop. First time these two teams ever met. It was the Grizzlies who came out on top. It's been a all-time series of runs. Montana dominated in the early years. And then Montana State had their glory years. In fact, their last national championship team back in 1984. The streak. Everybody here in the state, when you say that, they know what you're talking about. Montana won 16 consecutive games from 86 to 2001. Recent years, though, the Bobcats have played better than the Grizzlies in these matchups. They've won 7 of the last 9, including when they met just a month ago in a classic game. So close back in Missoula. 31-28 Montana State came out on top. That's really why they're the 2-seed, why they're hosting this semifinal game, meeting for the first time in the playoffs ever here today. You said it, Brock. So much anticipation all week leading into this game. For more on that part of the story, let's go down on the field to Dawn.
Yeah, Dave, the magnitude of this game seen across the state. You had high school basketball teams reschedule games so they wouldn't interfere with this kick time, knowing that everybody would want to watch. Get this, Montana State defensive lineman Paul Brott's been nursing an ankle injury. He told me his leg would have to fall off for him to miss this game today. That's how much it means to him, this team, and this entire state. And I've got proof for you. How about this? This was the most expensive ticket in college football this weekend. Secondary market prizes almost $700, a couple of $100 more than any college football playoff game. Safety Caden Dowler had a 3rd grade classmate he hadn't talked to in years hit him up for ticket help. Dave and Brock, all the stories I've heard this week are insane. It does not get any bigger than this.
A win on either side, Dawn, in this rivalry game today. Priceless for everybody who has gathered on both sides. You couldn't put a price on it. Montana, coached by Bobby Houck, who's in his 14th year, 2 different stints. He played for the Grizz. He grew up in Missoula. He knows this rivalry. He said what you did. This is the biggest game of any kind in the history of the state of Montana. He would know. On the other side, Brent Vigen, it's only his 5th year as a part of this rivalry. He has done a terrific job in Bozeman.
He's been fantastic. In 5 seasons, he's already taken this Montana State program to 2 national titles. All he's done is win ball games since arriving. And today, you know he wants to get back to that national title more than ever because both head coaches are still chasing that first national championship as a head coach.
And you can only imagine what everybody down on that field is feeling. The stakes of the rivalry, which are already so high. And in this instance, meeting in the playoffs for the first time ever, and a chance to play for a national championship, which has eluded both of these programs for a long time. They are hungry for a championship in Missoula, in Bozeman, all across this great state of Montana. Bobcats won the toss. They defer. So the Grizzlies will have the ball first. After a touchback, we'll see the Montana offense come out on the field. It has been an explosive offense, particularly in the playoffs. And Keali'i Ayat, who's just a sophomore, the quarterback Brock for the Grizz, has had an outstanding year.
Well, listen, not just a fantastic year, but what he's done in the playoffs. He's thrown for nearly 700 yards throughout 2 playoff games, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, and completing over 70% of his passes coming into this ball game. He's been outstanding. What can the Cats do to get him off track early?
The last game prior to the playoff when these two teams met, the Bobcats offense mostly kept him in check. Wow, great play on the ball there to start the game from Seth Johnson, the defensive back, to knock the ball away.
Excellent job by Johnson, reading the quarterback's eyes, seeing that football coming out quick. And this is something the Montana State defense did in the first matchup against the Grizz. They really kept the passing game for Montana in check. Ayat only 186 yards in the first matchup.
Ayat, whose dad was a star quarterback for Montana a couple of decades ago, throws this one toward the sideline. A diving attempt, incomplete. Trying to hit Blake Bohannon. Ball hit the turf, so right away, these Bobcat fans in Bozeman are going to get a chance to get loud.
Listen, good defense by Montana State, but the wind is going to play a factor today. Ayat has been very accurate all season long. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. You have to think that's going to affect the passing game.
Grizzlies will substitute, and they're going to make Montana's offense wait. And Montana State thought about countering with a substitution of their own, but they hold off. And now a penalty flag is thrown, a false start. But you can hear how loud it is. I mean, it is very loud.
False start. Offense number 6. Have the opportunity to remove it.
Well, that's on Michael Wortham. He was the star a week ago for the University of Montana. 269 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns a week ago. Those are just some early game jitters for the 5th-year senior.
So 3rd and 15. See how aggressive Montana's offense is.
Cats showing pressure. Ayat making a protection change at the line of scrimmage.
Ayat in the pocket, pressured very quickly, swings it out short left, and that pass caught by the star running back Eli Gilman, but he gets tackled well short of the first down, and so it's 4th down. Montana's going to have to punt the ball away.
I love the cat and mouse game going on right now. Montana State shows pressure. Ayat makes a check, so then Montana State's defense makes a check. They're able to rally to the football by keeping eyes in the backfield. That's the start you want if you're a Bobcat fan.
Special teams were a factor a month ago when these two teams met in Missoula. Ty Morrison, the punter. And Taco Dowler can be a very dynamic return man for Montana State. Back to receive. A nice kick here. Dowler, no fair catch signal. Makes the first man miss and then cuts it upfield. Back toward the middle. Stays on his feet and gets brought down from behind at the 40-yard line. But a nice punt return for Dowler. And so the Montana State offense comes out for the first time with good field position.
Yeah, it's going to be led by Justin Lamson, the transfer from Stanford. Started his career at Syracuse, and he's really been excellent this year. You just saw the completion percentage. He's 70+. I think he's doing a tremendous job of making decisions. He has a lot on his plate. He hands the football off. There's a big-time RPO system. Am I throwing it? Am I keeping it? He can use his legs. A lot on his plate, but he's done an excellent job handling this offense and getting his offense into the correct play.
played really well in the quarterfinal win last week for Montana State. And a reverse play, first play from scrimmage with the quarterback throwing a big block. Well, that's one way to get in the game. Jabez Woods ends up carrying it for a gain of 8.
Well, that's really good misdirection by Montana State early on. Keep an eye on the defensive end for Montana. He gets his eyes caught in the backfield, a little undisciplined, and that's what you're going to get early on in the game. There's so much emotion. We mentioned it. The stakes have never been higher for these two programs. So who settles in quicker and stays disciplined with their eyes and their technique?
Both top running backs out there for Montana State. They'll give it to Jones. Left side, the speed back gets tripped up, but has a first down into Grizzlies territory for the first time, a gain of 5.
Well, there's a three-headed monster with this Montana State rushing attack between Justin Lamson, Julius Davis, and Adam Jones. But watch the tight end, 86. Hunter Province out there on the outside. Excellent block. And that's why this team is so good at running the football. It's all 11 guys on the field. It's the offensive line, the tight ends, the receivers. Everybody's bought in on their job.
And if you ask folks around here, why has Montana State controlled this rivalry of late? A nice throw. Lamson fitted into a tight window, caught for a nice gain of 12 and another Montana State first down. They're bigger, they're stronger under Brent Vigen as they have gone on under their 5-year head coach. This has become a more physical Montana State team.
Without a doubt. And then this is also an area that Montana State needs to be better in than they were in the first matchup. Winning one-on-one on the outside. Montana is going to load the box. They're going to have 8 defenders in there all ball game trying to stop the run. Justin Lamson's going to need to hit the open receivers when they're presented.
Jones with the carry. Left side, nice cut, and a big gain on the ground. He got 10 and another Bobcat first down.
Well, to the point you just made, Flem, watch this Montana State offensive line. You have to remember Brent Vigen. Where does he come from? North Dakota State. What do they do when they win all their national titles? They win the line of scrimmage. So he knew if he's going to build a program here at Montana State that can win at the highest level, you're going to need to win the line of scrimmage. This Cats offensive line, they are big, tough, and physical.
Impressive start to their first drive of this semifinal game. And a pitch back to Lamson, who's going deep into coverage and really, I think, ended up taking a hit and just throwing it out of bounds. Good defense by Montana.
Fantastic defense by the Grizz. Excellent job. Montana State trying to do a little bit of trickery, going with a little flea flicker, but keep your eyes down the field. Look at the secondary. Look at that. Where's he supposed to throw the football? Nowhere to go with the ball. Great job of staying disciplined and reading the keys in the secondary for Montana.
So 2nd and 10. Dowler came in motion. They'll fake it to him. Lamson pressured again. Floats one out there, and it's snatched out of the air. Caught inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line inside the 5 by Chris Long. And the pressure was right in the quarterback's face, and Lamson still got it to Long.
Lamson did an excellent job of getting this football off under extreme duress. But it's all set up by the play action. Watch what the backers do with the play action. It gets eyes in the backfield, and that's what allows the over route from the second level. See how those backers step up? When you have a rushing attack like Montana State does, you can't hesitate in trying to stop the run. Play action is going to be a big piece of this game today. Great job by Lamson getting that football off.
1st and goal. A fake. Lamson is going to walk it in. Touchdown, Bobcats. And what a statement on offense for Montana State to start this semifinal game. That was impressive. Lining up for the extra, but they had 4 different plays of 10 or more yards on that drive, including the one that set them up 1st and goal, and the quarterback run for Lamson to put the Bobcats ahead.
Excellent drive for Montana State to get the first points on the board. Just a simple zone read scheme for Justin Lamson, and the Cats strike first.
What a cool scene here today in Bozeman. And every time these two teams get together, the history of the Brawl of the Wild. Maybe the greatest rivalry trophy out there. The Great Divide separates Bozeman and Missoula. You cross over the divide, come about 200 miles from Missoula down to Bozeman for this semifinal game. The first time these two teams have played in the playoffs ever. And a rivalry that goes back to 1897, one of the oldest in college football history, with higher stakes than ever here today. Montana State strikes first, a touchdown on their opening drive, so they'll kick it back to Montana. The Grizz offense will come back on the field. Let's look at that last touchdown, Brock.
Yeah, I want to go back to it. It's a basic zone read scheme. This is a day one install for Montana State, and you're going to see the defensive end, how quickly he crashes. If you're going to do that, if you're Montana, you need a backer or a safety to loop over the top to play the quarterback. There's no one there for the Grizz. Everybody crashes down with the running back. This is just too easy for Montana State. The Grizz need to make adjustments right now on the sideline.
And for the Bobcats, starting off with a stop on defense before their first drive. Defense back on the field. Ayat, the quarterback, is going to hand the ball off. Gilman, who's a great running back. Penalty flag thrown, gets pushed backwards, maybe got a yard. We'll see if part of the face mask got grabbed or something like that.
Offense
Nope.
number 81. 10-yard penalty remains, first down.
Instead, that's a hold against the tight end Josh Gale.
Definitely not the start Montana wants. Going backwards here on their second possession. Gale was play side. You're going to see him come from the right side of your screen. He's going to come in, deliver the block. And I think it's just the takedown of the defender. Easy call for the officials. Right now, all the momentum flowing towards the Cats.
1st and 20. Play fake. Ayat throws right side. That one's caught. And they get that penalty yardage back and actually add a couple of yards to what the first play would have been. A 13-yard gain on 1st and long to Brooks Davis.
That's a really good pickup by Ayat. You want to get back on track after a holding penalty like this. And you have to remember, this is a high-powered offense. Montana, in their 2 playoff games, they're averaging 51 points a game coming into today. Right now, the Cats defense doing a really good job keeping that in check.
2nd down and 7. Handoff. Straight ahead. No room there. Stuffed after a gain of maybe a yard. By the way, a couple plays ago, Brock, I think I noticed Caden Dowler, who might be the best defender for the Cats, sort of limp off the field. He's not out there right now. We'll keep our eyes on that. That would be a big loss for Montana State.
We have to. Dowler came into the football game having interceptions in 5 consecutive games, 6 total on the year. What a loss that would be for the Cats.
Maybe the big play of the Brawl of the Wild game from a month ago.
Kenny Iden on the inside, number 11.
Great pass rusher. That throw is caught right at the first down marker. Nice delivery to Schaefer, the tight end, and the Grizzlies have their first down of the game.
Excellent job by the big tight end, Evan Schaefer, 6'5", 270 pounds, finding the soft spot in the zone defense. This is one of those deals. If Montana State does not want to play man-to-man on 3rd down defense, Ayat will pick you apart.
Michael Worthen, who's such a weapon on offense, came in motion there. Ayat goes down. Man, he had no time. Zach Cruz was on him.
This is just a bust by the center, Klimzak. He's right here. And watch how the center slides to the left initially. Some sort of miscommunication. You got to give credit to Bobcat Stadium. It is loud, it is raucous here right now, and the crowd having an effect on the offensive line communication early on.
So a big negative play, 2nd and 17 now. Ayat, play fake. Pressured again. Penalty flag thrown again. The ball's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I think that's another hold. Maybe hands to the face. So we'll see.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense number 69. That penalty is line. Resulting in play, 3rd down.
Well, with the ball knocked down, that probably was a decision for Brent Vigen to make, because it would have been 2nd and forever. but it'll be 3rd and 17.
This is Panful off the left tackle. All-American season, has done an excellent job on that left side all year long. Just gets beat inside with the speed move by Zach Cruz. I like the decision by Vegan to decline it and force the 3rd and 17.
Would have been 2nd and 32 if they'd accepted the penalty. Little swing pass left side with a blocker out in front. Gilman with the catch, broke 1 tackle, but not a second. And that's why you decline the penalty. 3rd and very long. They come up short. And the special teams punt unit comes back on the field for Montana.
Frustrating start if you're a Grizz fan, but I do like that play call by Brent Pease. You got to protect your quarterback early on in this environment. It's 3rd and 17. You don't want him to force anything down the field. Play the long game early on.
Dollar again, looking to return one. Again, gets to the sideline. Well, that's 2 very good returns in this first quarter for Taco Dollar. With the Cats ahead of the Grizz, 7-0 first quarter of this huge rivalry game today. FCS semifinals in Bozeman. Well, the history of college football, you look at the rivalries that go back to ancient times. It almost feels like Harvard-Yale. They've met 141 times. First played in 1875, Army-Navy, and the pageantry continues to this day. In all these, really, 126 meetings for that one. The Iron Bowl, Alabama-Auburn, it's like a baby. They've only played 90 times, although they did start in 1893. Michigan-Ohio State, going back to the same year that this rivalry started, 1897. And then Cat-Grizz, or Grizz-Cat, depending on which side you're on. That's how you put the order in the rivalry name, 1897. Those same mountains, they've been here for a lot longer than the rivalry.
How great were all those photos?
Oh, I love it.
I want some of those framed in my house. So good.
There's no place more beautiful than this part of this country. Cats' second drive of the game, and Julius Davis with the carry on first down, gains 4.
And early on, you just have to say that Montana State, they're handling the magnitude and the emotions of this football game so much better. You look at Montana, 2 drives, they've had penalties, it's been a little bit clunky. Montana State, they got the football the first time, went right down the field, and here they go again with that run game.
The first meeting between these 2 teams this year was so evenly played. Numbers skewed a little towards the team that won, Montana State. So far, the numbers dominant for the Cats. Lamson keeps. Lamson lowers those shoulders and gets stopped a little short. I think about a half yard short of the first down.
Listen, I want to show you something. Montana right now is doing everything to sell out to stop the run. Look at this box count. Everybody except 2 defenders for the Grizzlies are inside there trying to stop the run, and they've yet to have success doing it. So right now, Montana State able to run the football as well as have great throwing options.
Jones carries. Jones breaks it out into the open. And a little spin move at the end of the run all the way down to the Grizzlies' 35-yard line. So on 3rd and short, he gets 11.
Excellent job by the right side of the offensive line, especially the tight end, Lencioni. I want you to see the tight end on this play, what he does, how he washes down the Grizz players, opens up a gaping hole on that right side for Adam Jones, just completely controlling the line of scrimmage right now.
Tight ends are big, linemen are big. So far, Montana State just bullying. Lamson didn't have anywhere to go with the football, so he just ran it straight ahead. And he's just such a bruising runner for a quarterback. He gets 6 yards.
Dave, we talk so much about preparing the same way, both of these teams, regardless of how big this game is. And many players said we've got to play with emotion, but don't be emotional. Well, for this Montana defense on the sideline, they were emotionless. And TJ Roush tried to get all his guys together to get a little energy into that defense.
Yeah, they sure need some. On 2nd down and 4. Cats driving again. All runs on this drive. Jones lunges forward and gets only a yard. So it's a 5-play drive with all running plays. 3rd down and about 3 coming up.
Boy, Montana is really baiting Justin Lamson to try to throw that football down the field. They're giving one-on-one opportunities outside. Don't be surprised if you get a play-action pass here. I wouldn't be shocked if this is 4-down territory for Montana State.
Well, right now, nobody's even covering Taco Dollar. Finally, somebody gets over there.
I mean, look at this. Look at this inside. Everybody from Montana's in the box.
Everybody. Jones runs, and even with that, I mean, that's bully football. When the other team is loading up to stop the run, and they're not stopping the run, I don't know where you go next.
Well, that's the school that Brent Vigen comes from. You got to remember, North Dakota State, Craig Bowl. What did they do when they won all of those national championships? They won the line of scrimmage with physicality, big, strong, smart offensive linemen, and that's what you see right here with Montana State.
4 minutes to go, first quarter. Cats on the move again. Lamson, play fake. Looking downfield. Now he'll take off. Runs into his own man. And still hard to bring down. Only got 2. So they tried the play fake, and he didn't see anybody to throw the ball to.
Well, this is the play action that I was talking about. He's trying to hit the tight end, Hunter Province, and he works a corner out. If he takes this to the middle, look at this defense that Montana's taken. It'll be a gimme touchdown throw. Expect Montana State to make that adjustment and test the middle of the field very soon.
2nd down and 8 coming up. Be interesting to see these teams as the game goes on. You mentioned the wind early, how willing coaches are to try field goals with some wind swirling around. Lamson back to pass on 2nd down. That one right through the hands of Dowler, incomplete.
Really good coverage by the safety, TJ Roush. That's good on good. 2 leaders of their teams, really good players here in the Big Sky Conference. Really tight coverage. It's going to be a fun matchup to watch throughout the day.
Big 3rd down. Montana's defense has a chance to get a much-needed stop. Field goal from right about here would be about a 40-yard try.
And Tuliau Pupu, the best pass rusher for Montana, is not on the field right now.
3rd and 8. Lamson in the pocket. Has time. Throws, and that one incomplete. Penalty flag thrown, though. He was trying to hit Chris Long, and it looked like there was a hold. Prince Ford was a guy in coverage. Another Montana penalty, it appears, and that's a huge one.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, and automatic 1st down.
Well, that's on Prince Ford. He gets beat on the double move. Montana State trying to work Chris Long over the middle of the field. They sell like a short in, then they go to the post. Watch the middle of the screen. And Prince Ford just gets out of position and has to tug on the wide receiver. Easy call for the officials.
And instead of maybe a 40-yard field goal try with the wind swirling, it's 1st and goal, Montana State. Jones takes a handoff. Jones, touchdown! Wow, the hole just opened up so wide, and Jones from 7 yards out makes it 13-0 Cats.
I want you to watch the right tackle, Cedric Jefferson, and how he just wins his one-on-one matchup. This was a concern for the Grizz coming into the game. Their defensive tackles average only 250 pounds. It is 300 pounds across the board for the Montana State offensive linemen. And right now, it is just complete domination by the Cats up front.
That looked like a busted extra point try, and the holder ended up having to fling it towards the end zone. It was not a good snap, and so that forced the miss point after try. But the dominance on the ground in the first quarter for Montana State, there's been no doubt about that. They lead 13-0. We're excited to go to Nashville. The FCS playoffs, there's only 1 game left after the 2 today. The championship game on January 5. For more information, you can visit NCAA.com. Home for all NCAA championships. No matter how this game turns out, and right now it's 13-0 Montana State, there are going to be a lot of Montanans in Nashville, Tennessee in early January.
Yes, they will be. They'll be loud. They'll be ready to have some fun, represent their university. It's going to be a special weekend back in Nashville.
Well, let's see if the Grizz can sort of stabilize things in this game. Kickoff is headed towards the back of the end zone, so a touchback with Montana's offense, which has been stifled in this first quarter, coming back on the field for the third drive.
Well, listen, I don't think there's going to be any panic for Brent Pease's offense here. They're one of the most, if not the most explosive offense in the entire country. It can be a quick strike offense. However, the wind is going to be a battle all day long, and at some point you got to break the momentum of the Cats. Right now, Montana State completely controlling the football game.
And you wonder if Eli Gilman, who's an All-American, All-Conference Offensive Player of the Year running back, needs to be a little more involved for the Grizz. Wortham, the guy, comes in the backfield. They'll swing it over to him, coming off a monster game in the quarterfinals. Got tackled right away after catching that one and turning it upfield. Gain of 4.
If you're a Grizz fan, you definitely want to see the football in Michael Wortham's hands. But then, to your point, you got to get Eli Gilman going. If Montana State's going to continue to play with 2 safeties high defensively, they're trying to bait you to run the football. The opportunities are there. The Grizz need to establish the run game.
2 high safeties and still no Caden Dowler, their star safety, on the field for Montana State.
So you had the safety Petrie showing down. Ayat changed the play after he saw the safety come down. Now they split to a 2-high look.
Handed off Gilman, trying to find a hole, does, and he's got a first down. He's so tough to tackle. Had a big game when these 2 teams met a month ago. Speaking of Caden Dowler, let's get an update down on the field with Dawn.
Yeah, Dave, he is still in the locker room with head athletic trainer Brian Coble right now, but I did hear it's a wrist injury. I can tell you it is not broken, so he is not ruled out of this game yet.
I tell you what, Cats fans, they want to see him back on the field. He was the Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year.
Shotgun snap, play fake to Gilman, throw it out right side, and that pass caught the turn upfield by the freshman Brooks Davis, and a nice gain on first down of 6. And another player down. Is that Davis? Yeah. Holding that left ankle. That would be a big loss. He's had a great freshman year from Northern California. The first meeting between these 2 teams, he had 10 catches, 113 yards and a touchdown. He was the offensive star for the Grizz in that game.
I was going to say, you don't want to see this if you're a Montana fan. Excellent freshman season. You see the ankle getting rolled up on. Never a good look for anybody, especially on field turf. Hopefully Davis is able to get back in the ball game, but boy, that did not look good.
Well, they have a lot of playmakers, Montana does, but he's one of the top ones. Very talented young guy. It's obvious just watching his body language there. You can't see most of it, but he is in a lot of pain. Ooh, having a hard time putting any weight on that left ankle. So we'll hope for the best with Brooks Davis. Well, there's Caden Dowler. He had the pads off. Presumably, if he's back on the field, he'll get the shoulder pads back on, get the jersey on, presumably. We'll see. Maybe not. We heard he was not ruled out for the rest of this game. He's not coming in anytime soon if he's not wearing his pads. Second down and 4. Kind of an awkward snap. Gilman takes it after getting it from his quarterback, bounces it left side into Montana State territory for the first time. First down, Grizz.
Well, I tell you what, you got to give Brent Pease a lot of credit there. It was the shift in the motion pre-snap that got Montana State to play a 2-high safety defense. It gives run game numbers to Montana. Gilman did an excellent job of avoiding Kenny Iden. This is the run game that needs to get going for the Grizz if the Bobcats are going to play a soft zone defense.
First and 10. Play fake. Swing it out right side. Wortham makes a man miss, but not a second. Got tackled after a short gain.
Great job by Carr, the cornerback, putting that initial pressure on Wortham. But Wortham, one of the best all-purpose players in the entire country. He's always going to make that first one miss and try to find you a positive yard or 2.
He had an all-time great game last week up in Missoula and helping the Grizz get to this semifinal game. Final seconds of the first quarter. Montana on the move for the first time. Ayat in the pocket, another swing pass right side Gilman. And Gilman, it took 3 Bobcats to get him to the turf. Stopped just short of the 40-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down. And that will probably be the final play of the first quarter.
That was a really good job of Ayat staying patient. Montana State, they're not giving up the big play. Montana wanted to take a shot down the field. It wasn't open. Ayat checked it down. Great job.
So the end of quarter number 1 of this semifinal rivalry game. 13-0 Montana State has the first quarter lead. It's a good place you're from, Brock Osweiler, the beautiful state of Montana. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
State leads it 13-0 after 1. Coach Bobby Houck with me. Coach, I saw you gather your offense around. What did you tell them?
Well, just want to finish this drive in the end zone. We've got a good drive going. We're getting through our call sheet. We're kind of figuring out how they're playing us. So we need to finish this drive.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, kid.
All right, Dawn, thank you. And a big drive and a big play right away to start the second quarter. 3rd and 6 across midfield.
Kenny Iden
trying to get to the quarterback. Plenty of time. Ayat finally throws, and he's got his man Gilman down the left sideline. And I say Gilman, that's Stevie Rocker, the second running back who was in on that play. And a gain of 18 on 3rd down.
Excellent pass protection by the Montana offensive line to give time to Ayat. He works completely all the way through his progression, finds his check down in Rocker. Love the patience that this young quarterback displays. He's not pressing in a big-time moment in a hostile environment, just taking what the defense gives him.
Yeah, it's interesting. Still no Gilman on the field. Finoti is out there. Wortham is going to take the direct snap and hand it off on like a jet sweep style play to Hashim Jones, another young running back. Gilman kind of got tackled awkwardly towards the end of that first quarter. You wonder if he's not feeling 100% because he's not on the field.
And this is going to be a big piece to the game right now. Who wins in the red zone? Montana coming into the game, one of the best red zone offenses in the entire country. But on the flip side, Montana State's one of the best defenses in the red zone in the country. So who wins this little game within the game?
Rocker in the backfield. Remember, Montana's offense, 2 playoff games coming into today, 101 points in 2 games. Play fake, Ayat across the middle, and he's got his tight end caught inside the 10. And a low hit on Evan Schaefer, and he's hurting. Slow to get up from the turf. It's going to be 1st and goal, Grizz.
This is a great job by Ayat. He wants to go down here to the boundary, but it's covered. So then he works backside to his tight end right down the middle. Once again, another great job by the sophomore quarterback, taking what the defense gives him. He's not forcing anything. That is a great layered throw over a backer in front of a safety.
And the Grizz get beat up in this game. Schaefer, that was awkward. His leg sort of planted, his knee almost kind of buckled. Petrie, who's playing for Caden Dowler at that safety spot, was the guy who got the hit on. Evan Schaefer's already had a couple big plays in this game for Montana.
You know what? I've been really impressed with Ayat early on in this football game. It hasn't been easy, but he's hanging in there.
Indeed. All right, we'll take a break, come back right after this. Gosh, it was hard to watch Evan Schaefer trying to put any weight on that left leg. Really couldn't do it. The tight end headed for the locker room. So now it's 1st and goal. This is a play where that leg just sort of got jammed. Yikes. He's a good player. Hope for the best for him. 1st and goal, Montana. Gilman back on the field. That's good news for the Grizz. They'll hand it to Eli Gilman straight ahead and falls forward even without a whole lot of running room inside the 5 down to about the 4.
And I think if you're a Grizz fan, you want to see a heavy dose of Eli Gilman here in the second quarter. Just his 5th rush on the game. But in that first matchup, averaged nearly 9 yards per carry.
Quickly to the line and not running the ball. Ayat to the end zone, almost intercepted. Wow, that went right through Petrie's hands, it looked like. Intended for the tight end, Josh Gale. I think the Grizz got away with one there.
They got away with one, and that was also a missed opportunity for Ayat. If he pulls his tight end to the pylon and leads him, he has a chance to throw a touchdown pass.
But now on 3rd and goal, and Ayat rolling right has to throw the ball away. How about that? So they get inside the 5, throw the ball 2 straight times. That's kind of been a theme here. Some talking between Taylor and Ayat, and it looks like the field goal team's coming out.
I really like this play call. The only thing I don't like is the fact that it's to the boundary. When you run this play call to the boundary, it condenses the space for the offense, and you can see there's just nowhere to go with the football for Ayat.
So now the first field goal try of this game. Field goal kicking hasn't been perfect for the Grizz this year. Joe Silver has sort of taken this job over. Good snap and hold, and that kick is up, and it's good. So the Grizz get on the board. I think for Bobby Houck, that was probably important. 12:52 to go. First half of this rivalry game. 13-3 Cats.
That disdain and that dislike for them is just born in you.
It's small communities where there's people on both sides that are going to argue it probably every day of the year. It's within families that there's people on both sides.
I don't even like going to Missoula, spending much time there. My fiance lives there, so I have to go there a lot more than I wish I did.
This is not what you would call a friendly rivalry. This is a spirited rivalry between these two teams. Montana State, the winner of this game, will play the winner of tonight's second semifinal game in the FCS, which will air on ESPN2, 7:30 Eastern. Villanova and Illinois State. Illinois State, the team that took down North Dakota State, the huge upset in this tournament so far. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Don Davenport here in Bozeman. Beautiful Saturday. Cats lead the Grizz 13-3. That was an important drive, though, for Montana.
It was a very important. I don't want to quite call it a gotta have it. Still plenty of time. And if you watch Bama, Oklahoma last night, you know, Bama was down 17-0 and came back. But for the Grizz, just to get a little bit of momentum, get a little bit of confidence here on the road, getting those 3 points was really important.
You got Woods, the return man, standing near the goal line, but it's the up man who takes a low kickoff, actually very nicely so, and gets it across the 30. That was a pretty nifty little special teams play, with Montana State's offense coming back on the field. 2 drives and 2 touchdowns so far for the Cats offense. Their offense has looked almost unstoppable. Ayat has gotten hot on the other side for the Grizz.
Yeah, but he's really been kept in check. Montana State not allowing any deep throws down the field. What I'm really curious about is Montana State offensively. They've rushed the football 12 times, only thrown it 4. But like I said, they've completely controlled and dominated the line of scrimmage. It's really been bully ball here in the first half for the Cats. What can the Grizz and defensive coordinator Roger Cooper do to get the Cats off schedule?
A handoff, first play of this drive, and there goes Davis. Another chunk play on the ground. Julius Davis, a gain of 10.
Well, and there's that bully ball that we just talked about, and it's that interior. Watch the guard, watch the center, watch the other guard. They just completely wash away that defensive front 7 for the Grizz. And like I said before, the Grizz, their defensive tackles, they average 250 pounds. The Cats, they're 300 plus across their front. It's just going to be really difficult to stop that run today.
They're going to hand it off to Taco Dowler, who came into the backfield on first down across the 45 to about the 46. Almost opposite numbers for Montana's offense. They've been throwing the ball in this first half.
They have, which surprises me a little bit. I understand you have a very good, talented young quarterback, but the defense that Montana State is presenting says, hey, we're not going to give it up a deep play. We're baiting you to run the football to stay patient. But Ayat's done a good job going 10 of 15 and just getting some first downs and staying efficient.
Tight end in motion. Adam Jones in the backfield. He'll take the carry, bounce it right, all the way down the sideline. Adam Jones with the speed to take it to the end zone. Touchdown. 54 yards. His second touchdown of this semifinal game already in the first half. He's the touchdown king of this Bobcats offense, and he's got explosive speed. The kid from Missoula taking it to his hometown Grizz. Montana has not trailed by this many points all season until now. Extra point up and good.
Listen, you got to give credit to the Cats, but the Grizz just poor discipline with their gap integrity. Eyes inside, eyes inside, eyes inside. And then when you get pecked, the defensive end to loop inside, there's no one outside for containment. This is too easy for Adam Jones. He sucks the defense inside. Easy bounce outside. No one there to set the edge for the Grizz. Once again, you got to give credit to offensive coordinator Pete Sturbick and the Cats offense. But right now, the Grizz are just beating themselves.
Oh, wow. Hey, you let that guy get outside, and there are very few players in the country who are going to catch him.
It's game over. And that's what Adam Jones does. He can ground and pound and kind of be that thumper back inside the tackles, but he also has track speed when he gets to the outside. He has great hands. He is a true three-down running back for the Cats. Another excellent season building off of a freshman All-American campaign a season ago.
Yeah, we heard those sound bites coming back from the last break about the rivalry in the state and the ties. I mean, he grew up in Missoula, in the shadows of the stadium, and came here to Bozeman. Kickoff goes through the return men in the end zone. Ball's just kind of sitting there. And the officials are talking about this.
Did it touch a Grizz?
If it touched a Montana player, well, that could be a touchdown. Stevie Rocker, and they're saying touch back.
Yeah, I don't think it did. I got a second look at it.
Wow.
It was really
close.
Really close to two Montana players, but I think the football was untouched on the kickoff.
Wow, almost a huge play on special teams. Brent Vigen talking to one of those officials. A SoCon crew, Southern Conference crew here in Bozeman today. Let's see.
Keep an eye. It's really, really close, but like I said,
well, they are going to review it. I don't think that it did touch him. We have Jerry McGinn with us here today as our rules expert. There's some nuance to this play about the rules on a kickoff, touch, no touch. Jerry, you want to just kind of talk us through what the rules are with this kind of play?
Sure, Dave. So replay can look at this to see if the receivers touched the ball. If they touched it, then they do have to go into the end zone and recover it. But the ruling on the field is no touch, so that means replay is going to have indisputable video evidence that it did. I'll tell you, it's extremely close, but the angles, the shots that we're getting, it doesn't look like it touched his foot. But it's very, very suspect. The officials got together, they talked about it, and I think they did a very nice job with the process, and replay is going to look at this, but I think they're going to uphold the call in the field.
After video review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The ball was not touched and grounded in the end zone. Touchback, first down.
All right, thank you, Jerry. That's exactly what happened. So they upheld the call on the field, and the Grizz will have the ball on offense.
Yeah, and that was a really nice explanation by Jerry there. Without clear and obvious video evidence, just so difficult to turn over, but I really think the officials got that one right.
So much noise inside Bobcat Stadium here for this huge game. Gilman in the backfield along with Ayat, who play fakes it. And he's going to dump it short over the head of Gilman, incomplete. Hey, it's been one of the stories to me of this first half. Montana's just trying to get it done through the pass game.
They really are. And listen, I understand why. Ayat had a terrific season, arguably the best quarterback at the FCS level. But once again, if Montana State is going to play a soft zone defense, at some point on first and second down, just take the 3, 4, 5 yard gain in the run game.
2nd and 10. Handed to Gilman this time, and a nice move to get to the right side. Uses a block down the sideline and outside the 45 to the 47-yard line.
And that's what I'm talking about. If Montana State, if they're going to keep those safeties deep and soft, give the football to Eli Gilman. This guy is fantastic. He was the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year. He is fantastic with the football in his hands. He can run between the tackles. You just saw it. He can make you miss on the perimeter. I think the Grizz fans want to see a heavy dose of Gilman this drive.
Yeah, actually 22 yards on that carry across the 45, and penalty flags thrown. I think that was like a snap infraction.
It's going to be false start. Entire offensive line moved, but no ball snapped.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
I mean, he calls it on 79. You could really say the entire team except for the center. You'll see on the replay, everyone moves, center doesn't snap the football, and I think you just need to give credit to Bobcat Stadium. It's loud here, and they're making it really difficult on the Grizz offense.
And some of the snaps have been a little iffy, too, on top of that. 1st and 15. Man in motion. Another kind of weird looking snap, but Gilman doesn't mind. That patience waiting for the hold open across midfield all the way to the Cats 48, gain of 10.
Well, and that's what the Grizz need to do. If those two safeties are going to stay deep for Montana State, you have a numbers advantage in the box to run the football. Brent Pease is doing a great job making adjustments, starting to get that football on the ground here.
Second down and 5. Play fake. Throw out left side. Caught on the turn upfield for another Grizzlies first down. That's Blake Bohannon.
Now listen, I get it. That might look like just a basic underneath pass, but when you start running the football, what do you get? Now you get a single safety deep. The other safety comes down to play run. Now you get one-on-one matchups on the outside. So as a wide receiver, you can throw it short at 5 yards, make one guy miss, you're going to get an explosive gain.
Malai Finoti behind Ayat in the backfield. Play fake. Pressure comes from the edge. They dump it to Finoti, who breaks a tackle in the open. Powerful run to get right near that first down mark. He gets 10 plus, and another Grizzlies first down.
Well, I want to give the corner for Montana State, Carson Williams, credit. Montana's trying to work a double move over here. Cornered, he doesn't take the bait. That's what forces Ayat to check it down. So really good job by the Montana State defense, but also by Ayat just taking what the Cats are giving him and getting completion after completion.
Under 10 minutes to go first half. Nice drive here for Montana. Finoti in the backfield again. On first down. And they'll pitch it to Wortham, and the defense was right there. Kenny Iden, who's been a huge part of this program, is sort of Mr. Playoff on the Bobcats defense.
Well, Kenny Iden, the All-American, he's not confused for a second. Montana trying to sell the run this way, bring it back across the field. Kenny Iden does a great job staying disciplined, reading his keys, and there to make a play for a loss.
He's always been a good player. There's something about the FCS playoffs where he just turns into a monster.
An absolute monster with his hair on fire.
So a loss of 3. It's 2nd and 13. Ayat all alone in the backfield. Throws it across the middle, and a good open field tackle. Wortham made the catch, but Cole Taylor was right there to get him to the turf.
That is an excellent job by the linebacker, Cole Taylor, former high school quarterback, but he's isolated with Michael Wortham one-on-one inside, maybe the best all-purpose player in the country. Does a great job keeping the gain at minimum.
A former high school quarterback who never made a single tackle in high school. He's learned how to tackle, I guess.
Ayat cannot afford to take a sack here. You are in field goal range.
3rd and 9, rolling right. Pressure comes, takes a huge hit, but delivers the ball on target inside the 20 for a Montana first down. Wow, what a throw.
That is a big league throw by Ayat. Standing tall and strong, knows he's going to take a monster hit from his backside. Not phased for a second.
Ooh.
And you know what? That's what we see out of those quarterbacks from Hawaii. They're just built different. They're tough. Nothing phases them. But how about that shot by Zach Cruz? Another Missoula kid playing for the Cats.
Oh, wow. Ayat was slow to get up. Padilla is having a nice drive. First down, Gilman back in the game. Huge hole up the middle. Gilman, end zone, touchdown. And the first touchdown of the afternoon for the Grizzlies, who are not going away from 17 yards out.
This is a great answer by Montana. It's just math. You have 5 guys on the inside for 5 guys. 2 high safeties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 5 offensive linemen. Great play designed to run the football here. The box count is in your favor. And you give Eli Gilman that much space, he's going to make you pay.
Extra point and a bad snap. Trying to improvise, but nowhere to go. Well, we've had both teams mishandle snaps, whether you're blaming the snapper or the holder on either play. And 2-point afters not converted.
Fantastic answer by the Grizzlies here, starting to take what the defense has given them. Eli Gilman with the answer.
A big game on both sides. Monday, 8 Eastern, ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes on the app. Niners in Indy to take on the Colts here in Bozeman. Beautiful Saturday, 20-9. The Cats over the Grizz with a big touchdown for Montana to stay in this game. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Don Davenport, Jerry McGinn with a spot in the FCS championship game on the line. The 125th meeting between these two teams. And the Montana State offense will come back on the field first. An update in studio with Kevin Connors.
All right, Fleming, a major development in Oxford. Ole Miss leading Tulane 17-3 and looking for more. Trinidad Chambliss is going to keep it. He bangs his head on the turf. He was taken out of the game. Austin Simmons came on, completed a couple of passes, then fumbled. It's now 17-3 Tulane ball.
Okay, Kevin. So that would be terrible news if Chambliss were out for Ole Miss. But post Lane Kiffin, good start for them. We'll keep you posted on the game. 1st and 10, Montana State. Handoff, right side run, keeping it on the ground, being very stubborn with Julius Davis, gain of 4.
I am so impressed with this Montana State offensive line right now. On that last play, you had 9 Grizz defenders inside the box. They're saying to the quarterback, Justin Lamson, we dare you to throw it deep. But the Cats don't need to do it right now because they're getting positive yards on 1st and 2nd down, regardless of how many defenders are in the box for Montana.
So 2nd down and 6. Davis stays in. Shuffles over to the left side. They'll give it to Davis again. Trying to bounce it right. And he gets positive yardage, but stopped short by Jared Ramos. So 3rd down coming up here.
This is that down and distance. It's that 3rd and short to medium that you really need to be aware of Justin Lamson tucking and running the football. He is one of the most dangerous dual threat quarterbacks at the FCS level. If you were the Grizzlies, you cannot just rush and go get the quarterback. You got to rush to his level, and then you got to start squeezing the pocket and try to cage him in.
And it feels like Montana has settled down in this game a little bit. This is a big opportunity for their defense. On 3rd and 3, Lamson looking to throw. He's going to throw the slant, and it's caught. Even with a lot of contact there, the catch for a 1st down. Chris Long with the catch.
Excellent throw, even better catch. I mean, there is no window to throw this football into. Justin Lamson puts it where only Chris Long can make a play on the ball. Excellent concentration by Long to bring that in for a 1st down.
And not a totally clean catch, but I think watching that replay, he did secure it. So 1st down, Montana State. Jones carry left side. Little stutter step move, and then gets wrestled down at the 40 after gaining 4.
Boy, that stutter step, that is just deadly, making Caleb Olewski look silly out there, 45 on the edge. And this is something that Montana, they're going to need to make an adjustment. We've seen this a couple times with Adam Jones. If you don't set the edge defensively, he's going to bounce the football out to the perimeter. He's going to make you pay.
Already over 100 yards. He only carried it 9 times for Montana State when these two teams met a month ago. He's got 8 rushes in this first half, 101 yards. Empty backfield for Lamson on 2nd down. In the pocket, Lamson now flushed out to his right. He's going to keep it. He's got that speed. There is a flag, though, back around the offensive line area. So a first down if the play stands. I don't think so.
It's going to be on right tackle Cedric Jefferson.
Holding. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty remains. Second down.
That's a big one. First penalty of the game against the Bobcats.
Like I said, right tackle Jefferson. Pre-snap, I was circling the defensive end, Tuliau Pupu, for the Grizz. He's yet to make his impact felt. I think he's one of the most disruptive defensive linemen at the FCS level. He draws a hold. And finally, if you're a Grizz fan, you're saying the Cats are off track here on first and second down.
It feels like for the first time all game.
All game. I mean, it's been complete domination by Montana State up until this point.
A 2nd and 15. Adam Jones with Lamson in the backfield. Dowler went in motion. Now the throw. That one caught by Dowler across the middle. In some traffic. Another good throw from Justin Lamson. He get the penalty yardage back out to the 40 to set up third down.
Man, I love watching Taco Dowler play football. He's so savvy. The way he runs his routes, he's just a technician. Great job of getting friendly underneath the coverage for Justin Lamson to make this third and manageable.
He and his twin brother so happy to be playing together at the same time. And now Caleb out of this game with an injury. Taco with a big play. Third down coming up. Lamson across the middle. Pass complete. Then the ball comes out. That's a fumble on the turf still, and Montana recovers. So a pass catch, but the Grizz come up with the turnover. Roush was the guy who finally fell on the ball. One of the leaders in that secondary. That's the first turnover of this game.
Let's go! And the momentum is starting to swing. Middle linebacker 32 Peyton Wing, who came over, transfer from Portland State, does a great job coming up on Jabez Woods, getting a hand right on that football, punching it out. And that's the momentum swing Montana's been looking for all game long.
Yeah, I don't think there's much doubt that he had that ball and made that football move, and then it came out.
And remember, in the first matchup, one turnover was the difference in the outcome of the football game 3 weeks ago. We'll see how this turnover plays out.
Gilman straight ahead, another big hole right up the middle. And Gilman stopped maybe a yard short of a first down. And the clock under 4 minutes to go, first half. Gilman. This time not as much room, but plenty enough for a Montana first down.
When you can see the shift in offensive philosophy by Brent Pease. If Montana State's going to play that soft zone defense, he's going to run the football, take what they give him. And this is a critical drive for the Grizzlies. Montana State gets the football to start the third quarter. If you're a Grizz fan, you want to come away with points here.
Wortham now going to play quarterback, takes a direct snap, trying to wait for a hole, then bursts to the outside, gets shoved out of bounds after a fairly short gain on first down. Inside the 25, though.
Isn't Wortham just fun to watch with the football in his hands? The patience he displayed on that last play. He's trying to suck the defense into the middle. Once they commit, bounces outside.
First year in Missoula was an historic one for Wortham. Handoff, straight ahead run, and Finoti was stuffed.
I like that Montana's keeping the football on the ground. Brent Pease, he wants to kill the clock. He doesn't want to give Montana State time to score if the Grizz are able to come away with points.
That'll take it down to the 2-minute timeout. The game has changed as this one has gone on. The turnover has set up the Grizz in scoring position once again. Trying to get even closer, down 20-9, nearing the halftime mark. All right, Kevin, thank you. We'll look forward to that. Lots to talk about on a great day of college football at both levels. Gilman by Hayat. Play fake on third down and short. The throw to Gilman out into the open. Breaks it to the left side. Turns the corner. Inside the 10 and down inside the 5. First and goal, Grizzlies.
Excellent job by Ayat. I circled Wortham pre-snap because that's where he's trying to go with the football. It's not open. He stays patient, hits his running back on the check down. This is what this quarterback has done all day long, just taking what the defense gives him.
And now with that clock rolling, to your point before the timeout, Montana wants the clock to keep running. Montana State has all their timeouts, and they're not using one of them here. Gilman in the backfield, takes a handoff, tried to turn left, and met, stopped right at about the 4. And it's interesting that Brent Vigen and Montana State seem content to let that clock roll.
It was a great job by the safety Coulter Petrie to just shoot through the offensive line, get Gilman off his track. Gilman's had an excellent second quarter here after having a slow start in the first.
He had 1 carry for 1 yard on their first 2 drives. He's got 85 yards on the ground now in the half. Second and goal. He's not on the field. They'll fake it and pitch it forward, and Montana State was ready. Rocker took the pitch. Petrie, the safety, taking Cade Dowler's place, made the tackle.
Excellent job by the big defensive tackle. Alec Eckert, 97, just being a stout anchor in the middle, ready for the shuffle pass. And then you said it, Flem Petrie right there as well.
And the clock continues to run. So Montana State not interested in getting the ball back. They're interested in stopping the Grizz. Meanwhile, Bobby Howe came all the way down the line and uses one of his timeouts before this 3rd and goal play. Ball spotted at the 5-yard line. So both sides will get organized for a very big play near the end of this first half. By the way, bowl season rolling on Monday afternoon. We got the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Not that far from here over in Boise. Some of our crew got diverted to Boise trying to get to Bozeman. From Albertson Stadium, Washington State and Utah State. Kind of a Western regional interconference rivalry. Monday 2 Eastern on ESPN.
Speaking of planes getting diverted and whatnot, how about a round of applause for the pilots that got our plane on the ground yesterday? High winds so we could be here. Tip of the cap to that crew.
Not a great day to travel. We made it, and we're thankful we did.
Oh, it got dicey.
3rd and goal out of the timeout. 16 seconds until halftime. Ayat all alone in the backfield. 4 receivers left. Looking right now. He's going to run. Ayat, end zone, touchdown. And what a finish to the half for Montana. They were down 13-0. They were down 20-3. Now it's 20-15 after the rushing touchdown from their young quarterback. Eight-play drive after coming up with the turnover that was a huge play. Silver lining up for the point after. Better snap and hold, and this kick is up and good.
Okay, great play design by Brent Pease, but watch what Ayat does to Petrie, the safety. Here's Petrie. Watch what Ayat does with his eyes. When he sells pass with his eyes, that gets Petrie to bounce outside to play pass. It clears a wide open lane for Ayat to walk in. Great play design by Pease. Excellent execution by this Montana offense. And here we go. We have a ball game going into the second half.
Just what we expected. These two teams, they know each other so well. Too well for a blowout to happen, we figured. For a while, it felt like it was going to be a blowout. All Cats for much of this first half. You got to give the Grizz some credit for the way they've hung in this game. They did have a new holder on that point after. Flowers, Luke Flowers, one of the backup quarterbacks, got the ball down, so they converted that one. 12 seconds on the clock. They're going to kick it off here. You figure Montana State getting the ball to start the second half is just going to take a knee.
Yeah, that's what I would expect. But what a first half. I mean, Montana State came out, completely controlled the game from the line of scrimmage. Oh,
now that is not good execution on special teams by Montana. You kick it straight out of bounds. Now with 12 seconds, that could change.
Free kick out of bounds. The ball be placed on the 35-yard line. First down.
I think it completely changes your thought process if you're Brent Vigen. And you can see them on the sideline right now. They're having a little extra conversation over there. Do you try to get one shot down the field and get into field goal range, or at least a place where you can try a Hail Mary before half?
Yeah, I mean, you have all 3 of your timeouts. You can use the middle of the field. I think, I mean, they probably need 30 yards or so, but I think you take a chance here. We'll see.
I do too. And listen, if you take a shot down the field and it's intercepted, it's basically a punt.
So 12 seconds on the clock. Lamson being pressured. You got to protect the ball. Got wrestled to the ground almost by the helmet. No penalty flag thrown, though. And that will be the final play of the half. So Montana State maybe was thinking about going downfield. Instead, they'll take it to the locker room. A totally different game than it felt like even, what, 15 minutes ago or so? And Cat Grizz living up to the billing. First meeting ever in the playoffs from these 2 ancient rivals. And it's 20-16 at halftime. Montana State has the lead. Montana State will get the ball to start the second half. But without that comfortable advantage, Dawn's trying to get in position to talk to Brent Vegan, and let's send it down on the field now to Dawn.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Coach Vegan, Montana found a little bit of rhythm on offense. What was the difference from your defense?
Well, they got good players, I guess. Maybe they made a couple plays, but the turnover is a big thing. You know, it's a lot different story if we can possess the ball there and not give them that opportunity. That's the biggest way I see it.
Caden Dowler injured in the first quarter. What did you miss without him, and what do you have to see moving forward?
Well, 10 other guys out there. Colter Peachy's going to go and do everything he can. We got to work around what that adjustment is, but you hate to lose a great player, but that happens, and we'll move forward.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, 20-16, the halftime score. Kevin Connors, Roddy Jones, Jay Walker in studio after this message and a word from our ABC stations. And welcome back to the FCS Championship Semifinal. Sun starting to go down behind us in Bozeman, Montana. We get ready for what promises to be a thrilling second half. After the game really changed dramatically, Montana State still has a lead, but much smaller than it once was. 20-16 as we start the third quarter. I think it would be fair to say it was a tale of 2 different games within a half of football, because Montana State was dominating. First 3 drives, scored 3 touchdowns. Montana punted on their first drive, kicked a field goal. They were down 20-3 and not looking very good. The offense perked up. They got a turnover on Montana State's last drive of the first half, and we got a ball game.
That's right, Flem. It was all Cats in the first quarter, then the Grizz clawed back in the second. And here we go. Buckle up. It's going to be a great second half.
First playoff meeting ever between these 2 old rivals, with a spot on the national championship game on the line. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler back with you here in Bozeman. I guarantee you there are a lot of nerves on both sides.
There is. I mean, what a tight ball game you have here. And we just mentioned it. The Cats came out. They really controlled the first half, and they did that because of their line of scrimmage play, that offense and defensive line. But then give credit to the Grizz. They weathered the storm. They clawed back in the game when they were down 13 points. And here we go. We got a 4-point game in the second half. Winner gets a chance to go compete for a national championship. This is what everybody wanted this week.
I mean, the bragging rights that are always on the line in this rivalry are amped up big time with the stakes in the playoffs. Julius Davis, first play from scrimmage, and what a tough run. Wow, he broke not just a tackle, but a big hit, wouldn't go down, and stumbled ahead, ended up getting 7 yards. Let's go down on the field to Dawn Davenport.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Montana head coach Bobby Haug told me that he felt like his team didn't do much different from the first to second quarter. He felt like they just finally settled in. That was the difference. But he did point out some defensive miscues, some eye issues, discipline in their eye game on defense. So you could see a change in defensive scheme at some point this half. Brock and Dave, though, his message to the locker room: best team wins. That's us. Let's go get it.
Well, thank you, Dawn. Good stuff there. Only 1 penalty against Montana State in the first half. They commit a false start penalty here early in the third quarter. And that's a big one.
That's right tackle, Cedric Jefferson. He had the big holding call earlier in the first half. Certainly not how you want to start the third quarter if you're Montana State. All the momentum went to the Grizz at the end of that second quarter. Montana State trying to capture some here.
He's had the only 2 penalties for the Cats in this game. So instead of second and short, it's second and 9. Lamson in the shotgun. Pressured immediately, throws middle, and the pass caught by the tight end. That's Hunter Province. He gets just 3.
And I thought it was interesting when we talked to Justin Lamson yesterday. It was a great conversation, but he said to us he felt like he missed some throws down the field in the first matchup against Montana. You've seen how the Grizz are going to play their defense. They're loading up to stop the run. There are opportunities outside to take a shot. When does Justin Lamson take one?
Right away out of the locker room, 3rd and 5 for the Bobcats. Lamson looking left, now a middle, and a huge hit. The ball jarred loose, pass incomplete, and Taco Dollar is down, face down on the turf. Micah Harper put the hit on, and Dollar only now getting up. His brother's already out of this game. The Cats fans wanted a penalty on that hit, but no flag was thrown.
Dave, you got to think the booth is going to look at this for targeting. Just a monster hit by the safety, Micah Harper. Number 2 right there. The transfer from BYU comes up.
Ooh. I mean, that's got to be targeting, don't you think?
That is clear as day targeting. Taco Dollar's defenseless.
Oh.
You have every indicator you need. This is going to be a first down, Montana State, once this gets sorted out.
Yeah, they are reviewing it. And you hope Taco Dollar's okay. I mean, that was a direct hit to the helmet.
You know, and I don't think Micah Harper was trying to do anything dirty or malicious. It looked like he was trying to get in front and kind of hit Taco from the side. I'm going to show you in real-time speed. Unfortunately, when you play that fast, these are the plays that sometimes happen in a game. You just got to hope Taco Dollar is going to be okay.
Well, we have Jerry McGinn, our rules expert. Jerry, you've had a chance to look at that play. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, from what we're seeing, we have a defenseless player, right, the receiver, and the defensive player, he's not looking at what he's hitting because we want his head up, wrap up, head to the side. His head was not to the side, so I'm looking for replay to, unfortunately, to discuss removing number 2 from the game. It's not a good hit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It wouldn't just be a penalty and a first down. Thank you, Jerry. It wouldn't just be the penalty and the first down. Micah Harper would be out of the game.
After video review, there was personal foul targeting defense number 2. Drives out to the hit and miss area of the defensive player, 15 yards. In the previous spot, automatic first down. Number 2 is disqualified from the contest.
It's just really unfortunate for Micah Harper. Like I said, I don't think he was trying to be malicious there. But you have to remember, if you're a Grizz fan, if Montana finds a way to win this football game, unfortunately, Micah Harper is now going to have to sit out the first half of the national championship because of the target here in the second half.
Yeah, he's one of their better players on the back end, that's for sure. In the immediate here and now, that is a big first down instead of a 3 and out to start the third quarter. Dollar on the sideline. Jones is going to get it and get drilled. Well, that play just took a long time to develop. And the Grizz, Peyton Wing, who's made some big plays, he saw that coming.
Excellent job by Peyton Wing. Just putting his eyes exactly where they needed to be. Bobby Houck said it. I want my defense to play with good eye discipline. Well, this is textbook eye discipline by Peyton Wing. Not fooled for a second with the eye candy presented by the Cats. And there for the tackle for a loss.
Montana finally coming up with some negative plays on defense. Montana State to the line. 2nd and 15. Lamson, plenty of time, throws, and that's Dollar back on the field, makes a man miss, still going, and gets all the way to midfield. Well, that's good to see. Just hoping that the kid was okay. Taco Dollar right back on the field and makes a play.
So great to see Taco back in the game. You're going to see Taco just one-on-one at the top side. Does an excellent job of winning at the line of scrimmage, creating separation. And how about the toughness? He just got his head completely knocked off, right back in the ball game, not missing a play.
That's a big play to set up 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and long. Lamson in the pocket, takes a hit and throws it out of bounds. Sailed it right over his receiver's head. And the punt team's coming out. So on 3rd and 5, the pass play incomplete. Montana forces the punt.
It was a really good job by Siu Malo, the nose tackle for the Grizz, getting the hit on Lamson. And you see Lamson right now hobbling off the field, something we're going to want to keep an eye on. Hopefully that knee's okay.
Yeah, low hit. First punt of the game for the Bobcats. And fair catch made just inside the 20 by Drew Deck. So the Grizz get a stop to start the 3rd quarter. Coming from behind here in Bozeman on the road with a spot in the championship game on the line.
Well, an exciting first half here in Bozeman, and it all started with Adam Jones on the ground for Montana State. What a first half he had. Just completely unstoppable. Went for over 100 yards on the ground, but then it was the fumble forced by linebacker Peyton Wing that really kind of swung the momentum for Montana late in the 2nd quarter. And then Ayat did a terrific job on the quarterback draw, scoring right before halftime. And that's really when all the momentum went back to the Grizzlies. And we'll see if they retain it here in the 3rd quarter.
Their defense just got to stop. So 12:02 on the clock. Montana already having scored 13 unanswered. Ayat, play fake, is going to throw, and that one complete along the left sideline. That's Blake Bohannon for a gain of 6 on first down.
Tell you what, I've been really impressed with Ayat's accuracy today. 18 of 24 for the ball game. And you have to remember, we have wind gusts here in Bozeman up to 25 miles per hour. Really impressive.
Feels like to us that wind is picking up a little bit as the game goes on. 2nd and 4. Another play fake. Ayat down the field, and Wortham wide open for the catch into Montana State territory, all the way down to the 46-yard line. 28-yard pass play.
Well, Michael Wortham, just a savvy football player. Watch how he kind of lulls the defender to sleep, and then he shoots it up the hash. Excellent job. Just keep an eye. The Bobcats, they were really in kind of decent coverage, and then when Wortham hit the gas, became wide open.
Biggest offensive play of the game for Montana. Gilman gets his first carry of the drive, and he's been tough to stop. A run along the right sideline that gets another 11 yards on the ground. I know Bobby Houck said to Dawn that they didn't change anything from the 1st quarter to the 2nd quarter. I disagree. They gave the ball to that guy.
Yes, they did. That's the biggest difference, and we talked about it the entire first half. Montana State, they want to keep a lid on their defense. They want to play a soft zone coverage. They don't want to give up the big play. Well, if you're going to do that, Montana needs to rush the football. Gilman have an excellent 2nd and 3rd quarter.
He'll get it again. Kind of ran into his own man, the tight end, and then gets pushed backwards. Maybe they'll spot him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on first down. It's really remarkable how the Grizz looking like they might get blown out in this game. They were down 20-3. Nothing was going right. They have settled in. 2nd down and 10. Ayat throws a little slant to Wortham, gets a block, and now he's out into the open right sideline. Cuts it back in. Tackled inside the 5. Another big play for Michael Wortham. 35 yards, 1st and goal, Montana.
Excellent play call, and then an even better job by the big offensive lineman. It's the center and right guard, Matt, and keep an eye on them. 72, 76, excellent kick out blocks. All Wortham needs to do is use that speed out in the open field. Excellent time, screen call by Brent Pease.
2 big plays on this drive. Wortham a little banged up after the end of that play. Power formation. Gilman gets it. Gilman pushing, and he got stopped just short of the goal line. 2nd and goal coming up for the Grizz.
Well, I tell you what, it really feels like Montana has the Cats on their heels. We mentioned it, 1st quarter, Cats came out swinging, really didn't miss on anything. Then you get that turnover, and that momentum has shifted. It's all Grizz right now.
2nd and goal. Ayat is going to throw. Touchdown, Montana. The tight end, Jake Olson. And the Grizz have their first lead of this semifinal game.
Well, this play is designed to go to Eli Gilman. You're going to see Gilman here, and the tight end's just trying to create a run, but watch how these defenders jump over the top, and that's what puts the tight end in a position where he's wide open. This is a gimme throw. You get miscommunication by Montana State, and Ayat makes them pay.
Extra point is up and good. 20 unanswered points for the Montana Grizzlies in this game. They've got their first lead of this FCS semifinal, 23-20. Still a long way to go.
There are 204 miles of interstate between Missoula and Bozeman. And to the fans of the Montana Grizzlies and Montana State Bobcats, anger is the point in a rivalry that so perfectly divides the state while also so perfectly defining it.
And the stakes have never been higher than they are this afternoon. How about the Grizzlies of Montana? 20 unanswered points. They were down 20-3, and it did not look like they were going to be competitive today. Now they have totally flipped this game around. 8:47 to go, third quarter, leading 23-20.
I'm really impressed with the Montana Grizzlies in this environment today at Bobcat Stadium. You're hearing it at home. It's been deafening since the get-go. To weather that storm down 20-3, and now all of a sudden you're leading by 3 points, that's not easy to do in an environment like this. We're going to see what answer the Cats have here, because right now the momentum is all Grizz.
Big time. Since the first quarter, everything's lopsided in favor of the Grizz. Another touchback, so the Montana State offense comes back on the field at the 25-yard line. Remember, Justin Lamson kind of hobbled off the field at the end of the last drive. Well, looks like he's going to go back out there again, but that's worth monitoring. If he's not moving 100%, that takes away a big weapon.
It certainly does, and it also changes the game plan for Montana State. Justin Lamson is a big piece to the run game for the Cats, rushing for over 600 yards on the season, over 8 touchdowns. Let's keep an eye on that lower body.
Julius Davis, the tailback alongside Lamson in the backfield, 1st and 10. And they will hand it off to Davis. Cuts it right, breaks a tackle. But pretty well defended, gain of 3. Let's go down to Dawn.
Yeah, guys, you guys are talking about Lamson. He did not visit with the trainer. He looked like he had 0 issues with his lower body, but he was frustrated while he was watching their last possession on the iPad. And remember, this week he told us when he met with his leadership coach that he wants to fix how he leads on the sideline today, and you saw it just now, the focus on his face, paced the sideline, told his offensive playmakers, we got to respond here.
He kept it there, sort of the give or keep option, and he got tackled right away. So 3rd down coming up. I think that was Aluski who got him to the turf. Montana, we're giving a lot of credit to their offense, and their offense has kicked it into gear. Their defense has found some answers.
Yeah, they really have. They got pushed around early on in the ball game, but it's almost like a flip just switched, and they're bringing the fight right now to the Cats. Keep an eye at the top of your screen. 58, Tuliau Pupu. I believe he can make a difference in his pass rush.
Lamson steps up, going to try to run for it. Lamson, tough guy run, gets the 1st down. No slide there with the stakes here this afternoon. Gain of 9.
Well, we talked about this earlier in the game. If you do not cage Justin Lamson inside the pocket, if you do not have rush lane integrity, he is going to hurt you with his legs on 3rd down. You saw the gaping hole there. It's important. Defensive tackles, you need to build the wall. Defensive ends, you rush to the depth of the quarterback, and then you start to squeeze the pocket. That is not what the Grizz did there. Great job of Lamson getting a fresh set of downs when his team desperately needed it.
First conversion of the second half for the Cats. Lamson back to pass. Going to go deep, middle, and incomplete. Trying to hit Ryan King, but well over his head. 2nd down.
And that's exactly what Justin Lamson talked to us about yesterday. He said in the first matchup, I missed Ryan King on that exact same throw. A big post down the field. He's a guy we want to get involved. He's got great size, 6'4", 215 pounds. Played power football at Georgia Tech in Eastern Carolina. Just a football that was overshot by Lamson.
2nd down and 10. Handoff Adam Jones. Jones straight ahead. Jones across the 40, out close to the 43-yard line. And you wonder, last time they had third and about this distance, Brock, on their last drive, they threw the ball incomplete, punted it away. You wonder if they have a different philosophy here.
Well, when you get to that 3rd and 4, 5, and 6, it's really tough. As good of a running football team as you are if you're Montana State, as you said prior, the Grizz are doing a much better job of containing that. I do think at 3rd and 4, don't be surprised, though, if the Cats keep the ball on the ground. They're just such an excellent running team.
They will throw it. Lamson in the pocket, plenty of time, delivers. And that pass is caught. And the extra effort to make sure Dane Steele gets the Montana State first down.
You know, I'm really surprised with the Montana defense. They play zone coverage, and I want you to see these flat defenders. They just kind of get soft. They drop to the sticks, and that's what allows the underneath route. If you're going to play that soft, this is just too easy on a 3rd and 4. Usually you see teams 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 or less go man coverage to make it more difficult on the quarterback.
1st and 10, Montana State. Dowler in motion, instead give to Davis left side. Hit the hole and get shoved out of bounds. Hopefully everybody over there is okay on the Montana sideline.
Boy, how about that stiff arm by Julius Davis? Ooh. Unbelievable. I tell you what, 5'10", 210 pounds, former Wisconsin Badger. This guy, he runs the football with bad intentions. He is tough to bring down. That was quite the stiff arm.
He left Prince Ford wondering what just happened. Got close to 5 on that first down run into Montana territory. Handed off again, Davis. Left side, and just the momentum falling forward. Looked like he'd been stopped for a gain of 1. Instead, he gets 4.
Flem, that's unbelievable. I mean, there was nowhere to go with the football. The Grizz built a wall right at the line of scrimmage, but that just shows the power and strength that Davis plays with, able to get positive yards.
3rd and 1, he'll stay on the field. Under 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 3-point lead for the road team. Handoff Davis straight ahead, and that power again hit behind the line of scrimmage, but he gets enough for a first down.
You know, I was anticipating the Cats to potentially go hard play action and take a shot there, try to catch the Grizz by surprise, because as good as you're running the football, you have to feel confident if you miss the pass, you'll pick up a first down on 4th down, but nevertheless, great job getting a fresh set of downs.
So Davis comes out of the game. Adam Jones back in. Ball inside the Montana 40, 1st and 10. Justin Lamson, the quarterback, play fake, throws it to Taco Dowler, gets a block, turns it upfield, and a penalty flag is down. Maybe Lamson got hit after he threw the ball, close to a first down on the play. We'll see what the penalty is.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense in the 58.
Well, that's Solomon Tuliaupupu. I've mentioned his name multiple times tonight. I think he's an excellent pass rusher, 58. You got to think this is just frustration. He's yet to be able to affect the passer today. That's just a hit that you might say, hey, you know, that's a little soft, whatever. He had time to pull up. That's a good call by the officials and just unnecessary by Tuliaupupu.
So the first down plus the extra 15. And they're still moving that ball inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line, close to the 14 for the Bobcats. Jones shuffles left side. He'll get the handoff running right and falls forward for a gain of 2, maybe 3 on first down. Well, a drive that the Bobcats needed just to kind of build some confidence back. Amazing how this game just turned 180 after Montana State dominated the first quarter.
That's right, Flem. I mean, if Montana State was not able to convert a couple 3rd downs on this drive, you really just felt like the pendulum had swung to the Grizz. Really good job by the Cats putting together an excellent drive here.
2nd down, Lamson looking to throw. Hits Dowler, turns it up on the sideline, gets knocked out of bounds, but enough for a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal, Montana State. Waller knocked him out. Dowler's taken some big hits, including the targeting. Gets up.
What a route by Taco Dowler. Grizz playing man-to-man coverage. Dowler sells the shallow cross, does an excellent job. Then he puts on the brakes, pulls out on the return. Completely lost the defender for the Grizz. I said it before, Taco Dowler, just a route technician, so much football savvy, just a ton of fun to watch play.
You got the power back Julius Davis in there, extra tight end. Handoff Davis, 1st and goal, and he'll get stopped well short. Maybe got a yard on 1st down. Jake Mason made the tackle.
I expect the Cats here to keep this football on the ground or go play action bootleg, get Lamson out to the perimeter. His legs are a weapon, as we all know. But just with the size and strength advantage inside for the Cats, we've mentioned it. They're all 300 plus. Defensive tackles for the Grizz are 250 pounds.
Davis out, Jones in, 2nd and goal. Lamson pitches it to the tight end, and he will get in. Touchdown. Rocky Lencioni, the freshman tight end, took the little pitch forward pass for a 2-yard touchdown catch to put Montana State back in front. What a drive, 14 plays, and you see how emotional Justin Lamson is. Maybe that's a little bit of what Dawn was talking about. Extra point, high snap, good hold, kick, up and good.
Well, you don't see a tight end getting a speed sweep every day, but Lencioni, excellent athlete, and an even better block by the right tackle, Cedric Jefferson. We got a ball game in Montana. Stick with us.
Well, in a lot of ways, the CFP modeled after the FCS playoff format, which starts with a bigger field. We're down to 4 in about 17 minutes of game time. We think we'll be down to 3. Winner of this game will play the winner of Illinois State Villanova for a national championship on January 5th in Nashville. Low kickoff after Montana State goes back ahead 27-23. Now the Grizzlies offense comes back on the field. They punted their first 2 drives, Brock. They've been unstoppable since.
They really have. They've scored on their next 4 drives, and it all started with the great run by Eli Gilman, just kind of splitting the safeties and linebackers. And then I thought Ayat did an excellent job of selling pass, getting the defense to drop, and then running it in on the quarterback draw, and then taking advantage of the miscues and communication in the Montana State secondary. Both DBs went with Eli Gilman, tight ends wide open. Ayat sees it, makes the Cats pay.
Finding ways to get Gilman the ball, Wortham the ball. Ayat's been excellent. Gilman breaks a tackle, not a second, gets 2 or 3 on 1st down.
Well, now what point can Montana State get Montana off schedule? Because we just said it, first 2 possessions for the Grizz, punts, and then they score on the next 4. This defense really needs to lean into Bobcat Stadium right now. Do something to confuse this Grizz offense and take back the momentum.
2nd down. Ayat gives it to Gilman. Little spin move, trying to get to the corner, and he's going to go backwards. That was a good tackle there by Petrie. Remember, he's the guy playing for the injured Caden Dowler to set up 3rd and long.
Boy, and he's done a really good job filling in for some massive shoes with Caden Dowler, the Big Sky Conference Defensive Player of the Year. It's had a nice game, but this is the stop the Cats need. Bobcat Stadium is about to come alive on this 3rd and 6. And I would imagine Kenny Iden is going to get involved, number 11.
Ayat looking middle, zings it in there, incomplete. Penalty flag thrown. Intended for Dak. Carson Williams had the coverage, and that's going to give the Grizzlies a 1st down.
Pass interference, defense number 8. Ball be placed in front of the foul. On
I know the fans don't like it, and that was the stop that Montana State needed, but I think it's a really good call by the officials. You're going to see Carson Williams covering Deck, and you can see the hands just draped all over the wide receiver. Good job by Drew Deck. Selling it a bit, but easy call for the officials.
Finoti in the backfield. Ayat looking to throw. Swings it out to Finoti, and that block just got blown up. Was that Williams who just got penalized to beat the block? I couldn't tell.
That was 6. Bryant Meredith. Excellent job coming up, like you said, Flem, just blowing it up, being physical. Great job using his hands. And that's what this fourth quarter, as we approach it at 30 seconds, that's what it's going to come down to. Physicality and who wants it more.
Montana's going to need at least one more play. Wortham in the backfield. He's going to take the direct snap here, and he'll keep it. Bouncing it, pointing ahead, trying to get a block. Gets shoved out of bounds. That was well defended. He got 2, maybe 3 yards out to the 40. Clock just stops for a second, and now the final seconds of the quarter will tick down. What else would you want? A rivalry game. All the history of these two. Never played in the playoffs. We have 15 minutes to go. A spot in the national championship game on the line, and we've got a 4-point ball game. Cats over the Grizz. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Championship in women's volleyball on the line tomorrow. A spot in the championship game at the FCS level in football on the line. Here we start the fourth quarter. 3rd and 9. 15 minutes to go in Bozeman. Montana down 4 with the ball, facing 3rd down. Ayat, who's played so well, back to pass. He throws middle and almost intercepted, incomplete. The first stop in a long time for the Bobcats defense. And that's going to force a punt by the Grizzlies to start the fourth quarter.
Well, really good stop by Montana State, but check this out. You're going to get a corner here, and then you're going to try to run the post to the inside. If Ayat leads the post, there's an opportunity for a big play. But you got to give Montana State credit. Excellent coverage by Seth Johnson down the field.
Well, that's the first stop for the Bobcats defense since midway through the first quarter. Punt team out there. Ty Morrison for the Grizzlies. Kind of a low punt. Taco Dowler, no fair catch. Going to turn right side. Penalty flags thrown, and now he slips and goes down. So you usually assume those are against the return team. And that's going to change the field position game for Montana State. Penalties starting to be more of a factor on both sides in this game.
During the kick, holding. Return team number 3. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Listen, when you get into big-time moments and big-time games, and this is exactly what this is, a chance to go play for a national title is on the line. You gotta stick to your fundamentals. You gotta stick to your technique. We've seen some of those penalties start to pop up.
I mean, that's a 20-yard field position difference. Instead of starting at the 30, they're back at their own 10. So that's a big penalty.
Fundamentals and execution will win the fourth quarter.
Lamson, hands off. Davis, first play of the drive. Julius Davis, he has done some tough running today. A gain of 8 on 1st down.
Yes, he has. Just a physical, downhill, bruising back. Arm tackles are not going to get Julius Davis to the ground. He's had an excellent second half here. Over 4 yards per carry.
Jones has been the more explosive back, but Julius Davis, he has really been tough to get down.
3-headed monster in the backfield. Adam Jones, Julius Davis, and Lamson.
All out there right now. On 2nd down, Davis will get the 1st down. Protects the ball as he stumbles ahead to the 23, gain of 5.
I mean, this kid is just a bowling ball. It's impossible to get him down. I mean, you see it. It takes 2-3 hits. delivering stiff arms, just constantly falling forward, getting positive yards for the Cats.
And he's had eventful playoffs. He had the scene at the end of the game against Yale where he and his head coach were kind of getting into one another. He had the taunting penalty that wiped a touchdown off the board in the quarterfinal game. He is just playing tough here today.
No safeties deep for Montana, baiting Montana State to throw the ball down the field.
Jones, and he just barely got brought down by Lawler. Montana player down on the field. The other thing about playing without the safeties is with Adam Jones' speed, if he gets away from a first tackler, he's got a chance to go all the way. Grizzlies player down on the turf. We'll get you up to date on that when we come back to Bozeman.
Media timeout.
The winner of this game here, we're in the fourth quarter, close game in semifinal number 1 in the FCS. Illinois State and number 12 Villanova, 7:30 Eastern over on ESPN2. Fourth time Villanova's been in the semifinals. Last time they appeared in a championship game back in 2009. The winner of this one will take on the winner of that one. January 5 in Nashville, Jared Ramos starting nose tackle. Hobbles off the field. Lamson on second down is going to get sacked. Jake Mason wrestles him down. A loss of 7 on the play.
Excellent job by Mason to get to the quarterback. Lamson finally had the throw down the field that he wanted to get to. He just didn't have time to as the pocket collapsed, got pushed down in his lap. You see 84 popping wide open down the field. Dane Steele. Just no time to deliver that football. Excellent job by Jake Mason.
So now it's 3rd and 15. Deep in their own territory. Let's see how aggressive the Bobcats want to be. And they move. That's going to make the situation even more dire.
Ball starts. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
Center J.T. Reed.
Be J.T. Reed right in the middle of your screen. Back-to-back miscues for Montana State. You take a sack, then you compound that with a false start. Not the direction you want to be going if you're a Montana State fan.
5th Cats penalty. 12:30 to go and rolling. 4th quarter, 4-point game. Lamson back to throw, steps up. Looking downfield, throws deep middle, caught by Dowler, and the defenders go down. Taco Dowler cuts it back middle. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown. Yards on 3rd and forever. They finally hit that big play downfield. 33-23 on the biggest play of this semifinal game. Amazing. Extra point is up and good. That has a chance to be a moment that is remembered forever in Bozeman.
What a play by Lamson and Dowler, but what have I said all game? You can't let Lamson outside the pocket. It's where he's most dangerous. And boy, did he make the Grizz pay.
This is what makes this sport so amazing.
Well, I can't wait to see Dante Moore with all his receivers getting healthy again. That Oregon team could be real dangerous.
Oh, yes, they can. Dante Moore, but it's also the rushing attack. It's the defense by Oregon. Autzen Stadium's going to be absolute madhouse this evening.
Kind of just like Bobcat Stadium is right now. What a play. I mean, look, we'll see how this game plays out. There's a long way to go. Montana's already come from behind in this one very impressively. But we might have just witnessed one of the biggest plays in the history of Montana State football. Kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. Let's take another look at it.
That's right, Fleming. It couldn't have happened to a better kid. This is a big league play by Taco Dowler. He's right here. He's just working a basic over route. But when he notices quarterback scramble drill, he peels back to the middle of the field. He gets friendly for his quarterback. This is such a heads-up play by Taco. It's an excellent throw by Justin Lamson. And once again, if you're the Grizz, if you don't keep Lamson inside the pocket, he's going to burn you.
And look, I know it must be killing Caden Dowler to not be out there, but the twin brothers who have done everything together, basically from the moment they were born. Imagine that feeling, having your brother greet you when you come off the field after that play.
So special.
So now, where's the answer for Montana? Ayat will get sacked. Wow, that was just a blow-up right from the start. There is a penalty flag thrown. Taden Gray ended up getting to the quarterback for a loss of 11. I mean, Ayat even turned the wrong direction for the play fake.
Holding. Offense number 76. A penalty to time results of the play will be second down.
Well, this is a pressure by the Cats, and it's kind of disastrous for the Grizz just across the board. This is where the holding takes place on Eckert, but Gilman has to go pick up the pressure. Ayat goes to fake to the correct side. Back does a good job trying to pick up the pressure, but inside the right guard, Matten just gets beat by Eckert.
Handoff Gilman, and they get some of that lost yardage back. Maybe just get a little breathing room with the even louder end of this stadium down there. It's 3rd and long.
Listen, and I get it. If you're Kali'i Ayat right now, you feel like your world is collapsing on top of you. But whatever you do with the football here, don't be afraid to punt it away. There is plenty of time on the clock. You have all 3 timeouts. Do not force an errant pass down the field if it is not there.
Ayat, plenty of time, throws short right, Gilman juggles and drops it. A rare drop for Eli Gilman, and now it's 4th down, and they will have to punt the ball back.
What a stop for the Montana State Bobcats.
Now wait a minute, there is a penalty flag way deep in the secondary, and I mean way back away from the play. Montana might have just gotten a reprieve.
Sideline warning.
Okay.
Montana State.
So just a warning. They throw the flag for the sideline warning. That means it'll still be 4th down.
Like I was saying, what a stop for the Cats. 3 and out. Bobcat Stadium. Everybody is standing. They can start to sense what might be coming of this football game. Important for Montana to stay composed right now.
Morrison with Dowler back there. Taco's had a couple good returns in this game. Feeling frisky. Breaks a tackle. Right sideline. And out to the 40. What a player Taco Dowler is. There's a Grizzlies player hurting on the punt cover team. And hopefully he's all right. That might be the long snapper, Peibel. Well, there's the scene in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where these two teams are trying to get. January 5, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. It's that Monday Night Football slot. The final week of the regular season when there is no Monday night game. We're happy to fill it with a national championship on the line. The winner of this one against the winner of Illinois State and Villanova.
I think it's so special and great for the FCS. There's so much great football, so much great history and past players. Great spotlight for the FCS.
Montana State offense back on the field. Jones dragging would-be tacklers into Montana territory. All the way down to the 40. Adam Jones, I called him the speed explosive back. He's got some power too.
He's got speed, explosiveness, power. He's got it all. He is a complete 3-down back, and this is what Montana State does to their opponents every single week. They wear you down over the course of the game, and when you get into the fourth quarter, you're beat up, you're tired, and that's when their rushing attack takes over. It's going to be really tough for Montana to stand stout right now.
He is just having a monster playoffs. Dowler in motion, fake it to him. Lampson's going to throw, going deep, and what a catch! Inside the 5, Lencioni, the freshman tight end. His teammates can't believe it. Adam Jones has his hands on his helmet.
Well, here's the downfield pass and attack we've been waiting for all day. This is Lencioni down the sideline, but it starts with the play-action pass in the backfield. Freezes the defense, allows the tight end Lencioni to get behind the secondary, and what a catch by Rocky Lencioni, the product from Bozeman, Montana.
I mean, what a great reaction. Adam Jones was trailing the play. He could not believe that young teammate of his made that catch. Now Jones gets the carry and is down to the 4.
Excellent catch, beautiful throw by Justin Lampson, and perfectly timed by offensive coordinator Pete Sturbick.
Under 10 minutes to go. Montana State already up 11. I mean, you wouldn't say this would finish it off. That's not the case.
I mean, you're right, but it would all but be done. I mean, this is a time where Montana, if they want to have a chance, they need to find a way to get a stop or at least hold Montana State to a field goal.
Montana was having a real hard time getting organized on defense. Jones straight ahead run and down to about the 2, maybe a little outside the 2, where it'll be 3rd and goal.
I would be shocked if this football goes in the air. The way this offensive line has controlled the second half for Montana State, and really even early on in the first quarter, I expect the Montana State will keep it behind the big fellas.
You hold them to a field goal, it's a 2-possession game. Touchdown means you're down 3 scores. A fourth quarter that has been dominated by the Bobcats. And now a penalty flag thrown. That's a false start. What a big penalty that is on 3rd and goal.
Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
It's almost like they were in such a rush to get up there.
Just so important. You're right, Flem. Just rush. You got to get organized. You have an opportunity to put the nail in the coffin if you get a touchdown. That's what we talked about. Fourth quarter, big-time games, big-time moments. Who sticks to their fundamentals and who can execute?
That's a huge penalty. It might force the head coach's hand in terms of field goal or go for it if they don't get the touchdown here on 3rd and goal. Lampson looking left. Now he's going to run it. Lampson cuts it middle. Touchdown. He left the defender in his wake. to 23. And Bobcats fans now are starting to dream about Nashville. 20 straight points for the Grizzlies to come back and take the lead. Now 20 straight for the Bobcats, make it 21. Extra point up and good.
How about Justin Lampson here in the fourth quarter? The Stanford transfer, the big play down the field to Lencioni, and then on third down, Lampson would not be denied, finds a way, and the Cats are starting to think about Nashville.
Section 102 to claim your prize.
Under 8 minutes to go. Montana State at home with a 41-23 lead over their arch rivals. Montana trying to get to the national championship game for the 9th time in their history. Montana State trying to get back there for the 2nd straight year. You and I were there in Frisco, Texas last year. They came so close to their first championship since 1984. This may be the team to get it done if they can get through these final 7 minutes and 57 seconds. Kickoff deep. Montana Grizzlies need something huge to happen in a hurry. Wortham on kick return, and he gets stopped outside the 20-yard line. Let's go down on the sideline to Dawn.
Yeah, Dave, Bobcat fans right behind the Montana offensive bench starting to feel it. They were so loud it was hard for Ayat and his teammates to even communicate down here. And when that last touchdown went on the board for Montana State, you saw a few heads for Montana drop. It was a quiet move to the front of the sideline for this offensive possession.
Hard to blame him, Dawn. Thank you. 21 unanswered points after Montana had taken their first lead. Throw, short, and a good open field tackle by the guy who's learned how to tackle after coming to college. Cole Taylor never did it as a high school player. Was a quarterback only. They wouldn't even let him play special teams. They wanted to keep him healthy. Montana State recruited him as a linebacker. He's turned into a good one.
How about that? What a find by Brent Vegan going to CM Russell High School, converting a quarterback to a middle linebacker.
He has 7 tackles to lead the Bobcats. That throw incomplete, short, intended for Deck. And now it's 3rd and 7.
Well, Deck had the defender. He was open, and as great as Ayat has been all day long and very accurate, just kind of one-hops it to Deck. And it's go time for the Grizzlies. This is 4-down territory, down 3 possessions. So if you're Ayat, you have to remember you don't have to get it all here, but you do have to get a guaranteed completion to at least make it 4th and manageable.
Pressure starts to come. Ayat flings it incomplete. He threw it behind Deck with a rusher right in his face. I mean, it's 4th down. You can't punt, can you?
Oh, no. This is you got to go for it. But, hey, here's Kenny Iden. We've been talking about him all game long. He's going to loop from the inside, and he puts the pressure on Ayat. That's why the pass is off target. And this is the ball game, Flem. This is it.
And these fans in Bozeman know it. Any hope for the Grizz? They got to convert. 4th and 7. Ayat. Pressure. Picked up. Ayat. Intercepted. Coming back the other way. Inside the 15. Touchdown. And the Melstone kid, Bryce Grebe, from 38 yards out. Maybe he's the Melstone Cowboy now. Younger brother of an all-time great here. With a pick 6 to basically put this game away.
Well, Bryce might be the little brother of the Melstone Cowboy, Brody Grebe, an all-time great Montana State Bobcat. Watch him work right to left, gets right into Ayat's vision. And I tell you what, Bryce Grebe just made a name for himself. A kid that had to travel 62 miles a day just to play high school football. If that doesn't tell you what these 2 programs in the great state of Montana is all about, I don't know what does. But Bryce Grebe, excuse me, in the right place at the right time, doing a great job of reading Ayat's eyes, drifts right into the window where they're trying to hit the deep end cut, puts the nail in the coffin, and Montana State, barring some sort of unbelievable miracle, is going to play for a national championship.
I mean, a state full of small towns that love football. The Grebes come from a town so small they don't have football. Had to go an hour each way every day to play for a high school team. Sort of epitomizes what this whole state is about in a lot of ways. And Montana State had the 20-3 lead. Montana scored 20 in a row. And now the Cats 28 unanswered. And the party is on in Bozeman.
Gosh, just a waterfall here in the second half. Remember, it was a 4-point game. 3rd and 20. Lamson scrambles, hits Dowler, big-time touchdown. And the rest is history.
Yeah, that was ultimately the play. I mean, there are a lot of memorable moments in this game. That 87-yard touchdown to Taco Dowler. There's another kid who epitomizes this state. Is going to be the one I think that's remembered forever.
I mean, that was it. It was a 4-point game. Montana's about to get the football with great field position somewhere around midfield. And look at that in the 4th quarter. -2 total yards for the Grizz. 160 for the Cats, but it really boils down to the 21 unanswered points. Like I said, it has been a waterfall of Montana State rolling over the Grizz here in the fourth quarter.
Ayat still out there, and that pass is incomplete. I couldn't tell if it was dropped or was too low to catch for Blake Bohannon.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Montana State has broken the will of the Grizz. That's just it's a drop. I get it. The ball's low, but at this point, the writing's on the wall. Everyone knows who's going to Nashville.
And look, Montana has had a terrific year. They were undefeated going into the first version of Brawl of the Wild this year. As it turns out, they're only 2 losses this year. Talk about a bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah,
they're going to finish 13-2 with their only 2 losses to the one team they can't afford to lose to.
And remember, they were ranked higher than Montana State, so if they got that win in the first matchup, they would be at home right now playing this football game.
There's a completion out across the middle and a first down outside the 45-yard line. Bohannon held on to that one, gain of 20.
And ultimately, you go back to that first matchup, it was really decided by probably 2 or 3 plays. Montana had the lead 21-17. There's a pick 6. Caden Dowler takes it the other way, flips the score. The rest is history. It's a 3-point win by Montana State. And here we are.
Everybody was covered there. Ayat was just buying as much time as he could. Finally, essentially throws it away. Second down. We got a long way to go still in this game, but it will be interesting to see Montana State in that national championship game. They played so well today, but maybe even looser and freer. It's hard to say a national title game would be less pressure filled. There is so much buildup. So much pressure coming into this game. Ayat throws, and that one, wow, huge hit. The ball came out, and they did not blow it dead. Cole Taylor's going the other way. I don't think that was a pass that was caught. Bobcats fans think it's a touchdown, but I don't think so. And now, way behind the play, the officials are saying incomplete pass.
Yeah, back judge, field judge, both of them waving incomplete. And I agree. I don't think Josh Gale had time to make a football move here. I don't think he had complete possession. That foot does not come down once he possesses the football.
Great hit from Seth Johnson anyway to jar the ball out.
So to your point that you were just making before that play, Flem, all the pressure, all the hype coming into this game. Think about the confidence Montana State is going to have when they head to Tennessee to play for a national title. It's going to be off the charts.
Pass rush comes. Ayat throws, and Bohannon has this one. And that'll be a first down. Grizzlies into Montana State territory. Clock continues to move. Gain of 16. One big question in that game, the availability of Caden Dowler.
Yes.
You get a little extra time. The game's not next week. You get an extra week of rest. Ayat, strip sack, ball's out. On the turf, recovered by Montana. Seth Brock, the guy who got it out.
Excellent job of Seth Brock winning on the right tackle. Everett Johnson, 62.
Seth Brock, just a redshirt freshman. I mean, there are some guys who are playing their last game inside this stadium. But overall, Montana State is actually a very young team. Ayat again pressured. Rolling left is going to run and just run out of bounds.
It's a great point you make. There's only 9 seniors for Montana State. That's unheard of in college football. So if you're a Montana State fan and you like what you're seeing, expect to see a lot more of it next year as well.
Kenny Iden, one of those seniors. We saw him playing his last game on this field that means so much to him. Paul Pratt on the defensive line playing his final home game as a Cat.
Yeah, big number 41 representing the entire state wearing that 41 number.
Timeout. Montana State with 3rd and 16 coming up. 4:10 to go in a game that was so close only a few minutes ago. But just incredible how fast that avalanche happened on the Montana State side. The Grizzlies just couldn't stop it.
And of all things, it was on a 3rd and 20 play.
Yeah.
The Grizz think they're going to get the ball back down 4. That wasn't the case.
Be a different kind of scene, won't it, in Nashville? The winner of this game plays the winner of Villanova, Illinois State. That game a little later, 7:30 Eastern, over on ESPN2.
I mean, with all due respect to Illinois State and Villanova, in a lot of ways, I think both of these teams today viewed this as essentially the national championship. Without a doubt, the biggest sporting event in the history of the state of Montana. Stakes at an all-time high. Boy, and did Montana State show up.
Yes, they did. 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes. They'll take some yardage on 3rd and long to set up 4th down at about 10.
Good job of Ayat just getting a quick completion to make it somewhat 4th and manageable. I get it, clock rolling underneath 4 minutes. But the quarterback, young quarterback, just a sophomore, playing very smart, had an excellent year for the Grizz, going over 4,000 yards after this game.
Future's bright for Montana, too, with him. He is so good.
Yes, he is.
Kali'i Ayat on 4th and 10. Play clock winding down. Gets it snapped. Plenty of time. Trying to find somewhere to go with the ball. Will throw it downfield and almost intercepted. It was actually deflected and caught, but the receiver was lying out of bounds. It's incomplete. Now that's going to be a turnover on downs. The pass was actually caught sort of miraculously, but with the back of the receiver out of bounds, it's an incomplete pass.
That was just a great job at Takari Carr staying with the wide receiver Corbin Hendricks all the way across the field, getting a hand on the football, and it is time to celebrate here in Bozeman for Montana State fans.
Wow, pretty remarkable play there.
Yeah, he did not have full, complete possession of that football until he hit the white line. That's a good call by the officials.
Well, they are still talking about it. Are we going to get word from our referee? Apparently not. We're going to play on. And that celebration is going to start in earnest now.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. Like I said, he did eventually get possession of the ball, but he was on the white line by that point.
Cats going to try to just finish this game off. Handoff for a loss of a yard to Julius Davis.
Boy, if I'm Brent Vegan, Montana State's head coach, I'm getting backups in the game right now. Game's over. Don't want to risk an injury. You're headed to Nashville to play for a national championship. The only thing you really haven't been able to do since you became the head coach 5 years ago, you played in 2. Unfortunately, North Dakota State clipped you both times.
This will be his 3rd championship game appearance in 5 years as the head coach.
Yeah, just a terrific job since arriving in Bozeman.
At a place that, I mean, they've got a lot of history here in Bozeman, but not exactly piling up the championship game appearances before he showed up.
Well, and remember this, Flem. With Montana State winning this game, they've won the last 3 matchups against the Grizzlies. I mean, they have the state supremacy right now.
Come out.
And in a lot of ways, they're winning in recruiting. I mean, you talk to both sides. Bobby Houck was pretty honest with us about how, you know, right now, for the in-state kids, they've been winning a lot of those battles.
They have, and you have to give Vegan a ton of credit and his evaluation of players. When we talked to Bobby Houck this week, he just said, I don't feel like Brent Vegan misses on guys. He's a great talent evaluator, and he's certainly done that. He's starting to win over the state, and you see that just by how many kids are leaving Missoula. They're not staying to play for the Grizz. Instead, they're hitting Interstate 90 and coming to play in Bozeman.
I mean, one of the stars of this game, Adam Jones, grew up in Missoula.
Yes, he did.
And made that drive across the divide down here, and is one of the best players on the field here today. Just a bitter, bitter pill to swallow on the Grizz side for a very proud program with incredible history. Lampson will keep it. Lampson is going to get the first down. How about that? And stay in bounds. You got the 2-minute timeout, but now It's just about academic. Lamson knows it. Everybody knows it. They won't have to snap the ball to get to the 2-minute timeout. What a fourth quarter. Ooh, what a game. I mean, the final score is not going to tell the true story of this game. Correct. The Bobcats have dominated the most important fourth quarter maybe in their program history. Taco Dowler, a play that'll be remembered forever in Bozeman. And he and the Cats 2 minutes away from a spot in the FCS championship game. Well, I was going to just let the sound tell the story. Maybe I should start talking. Not a lot of love lost between these two sides, and a party, one of the all-time parties, is about to break out here on a late December Saturday in Bozeman, Montana. 2 minutes to go, 48-23. Adam Jones still in the game. Gets tackled. He's had a monster game against his hometown team. Couple of touchdowns, over 131 yards rushing on just 16 carries.
Boy, was he excellent today or what?
Big time.
Just big play after big play. The patience he displayed, the way he would get the defense to commit inside, bounce it out to the perimeter. But I tell you what, it's not just him. It is this entire team. They are a complete team, all three phases. And you mentioned it a minute ago. I think without a doubt, this is the strongest Brent Vigen team he has had. And you have to remember how good the Bobcats were last year, but this team takes a ton of confidence, a ton of momentum into the national championship game in a couple weeks.
I know they've won a national title in this program a long time ago, but victory formation may never have felt better than it does right now.
I mean, Flem, this is bragging rights inside the 406, the state of Montana, for eternity. Forever. Like, there's no argument. If you're a Grizz fan now, it's, well, hey, do you remember that semifinal game?
A place that cares about football as much as they do in Texas, in Alabama, in Georgia, in Ohio and Michigan. And here in Montana, it's the Cats who reign supreme as the final seconds are going to tick off the clock. And they make it 2 wins in the Brawl of the Wild in 1 year. That had never happened, at least in a long, long time. 48-23 is going to be the final score.
And listen, you do need to tip the cap to Montana. They came to play. The score does not tell the whole story here tonight. They brought a physical game. They battled. But Montana State was the team that made the big play in the big moment in the fourth quarter, and they're off to play for a national championship.
Well, in the middle of all of that dawn with Brent Vigen, the head coach of the Bobcats.
Coach Vigen, you told me that you tried to minimize the magnitude of this game, but now that it's won, what does this mean?
Well, it means we're going 2 more weeks with this team. We made it 51 weeks. That's a good team over there, and for us to put everything together and find a way, as much back and forth as there was, I can't say enough about our guys and their belief, our coaches, everybody just continuing to work and find a way in the fourth quarter.
Such a game, too. What do you feel like was the turning point for you guys?
Well, I think our offense was able to answer their lead, and we went down and scored. Then ultimately, the third long pass from Justin to Taco, and I don't say that breaks it open, but that's just 2 guys making a play, believing. I'm so proud of our guys.
Speaking of Taco Dowler and that play and that catch, what went through your mind when it happened?
Well, we haven't had a lot of plays like that. We had a lot of downfield plays, and I think it's really poetic that in Caden's absence, Taco makes the play. You know, one of those 2 guys continue to impact the deal, and can't be more proud of them.
Heading to a national title. You like country music, Coach?
I love it, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you a lot. Thanks.
All right, yeah, indeed. The Cats are headed to Nashville. That town, which sees a lot, they may not know what's about to show up. in a couple of weeks.
I tell you what, Montana fans are special. They travel in bunches, and there is going to be a massive contingent coming from the great state of Montana heading east.
Second straight year looking for their first title since 1980 for the emotion of the Dollars. Taco, who made a play that truly will never be forgotten. And he and his Bobcats are going to celebrate tonight and then get ready to play for a championship. What a scene, what a game. Arguably the biggest sporting event in the history of this great state of Montana. And in the end, Montana State wins, and wins going away. For all of us, Don Davenport, the Montanan himself, Brock Osweiler, it's kind of fun for me to be here with you today.
It was a special day to be here, beyond grateful.
I'm Dave Fleming saying thanks for watching this presentation of college football on ABC.